Baba didn't use the alphabet board all the time. He only brought it out when he had more to say, or we were too dumb to follow it, but the usual, like conversational gestures, Baba would do it in gestures, in such flowing gestures that while you were listening to his gestures, you really never felt that Baba was silent. And of course it always went with facial expressions. And just a slight look of change of expression would completely change the shape of the gestures, of the meaning of the words. Like this is clever. It's clever, very clever. But if he said, haven't you got sense? You're dumb. That means you're dumb, you know. No sense. This fellow, he has no sense. He's just a barber. Yeah. This is a barber, you know. And barbers are, all they can do is barber. They can't do any other things. You see, he's not an artist, not just a barber. And as a matter of fact, Baba would call, Baba's sign for the doctors was always a barber. And Dr. Donkin was the English doctor, and Neelu was the Indian doctor. They were not doctors, they were doctors, you know. And so Baba would say, when somebody would come before Baba, and Baba would say, I'm very happy to see you. Very happy. This gestures very often used by Baba. When we were saying something, reading out something, or asking Baba something, Baba said, it would be a very casual gesture, or it could be a definite gesture. But if Baba was asking somebody else to be happy, they say, Baba said, for anything funny, Baba would say, you know, this is so funny, because it's a smile that spreads. And he'd say, my cheeks are aching. Today I laughed so much, you know. This was pain. This is an ache, pain. If we asked Baba questions and Baba didn't want to answer them, he'd say, tomorrow, today, got a headache. Always tomorrow. But, yes, and then he'd say, did you rest well? Eat well? Good. How's your health? This is the question. What, when, why, who, depends on the context of the thing. So, is your health good? And is your health? This was fever, but this was health. Little differences like that. This was time. What's the time? And that was a gesture often seen by us. Baba suddenly turned on and said, what's the time? But then it wouldn't be like this. It would be more flowing. It'd say, what's the time? And did all of you keep awake? This was awake. If at reading times, when I was reading, it was naturally everybody had come leaving their work or after their work was done. So they were relaxing before Baba. And then I would read on, either Nero Wolf's story or something. And so those who had come from the kitchen, those who had come from doing other work, would find the sound a bit droning. And especially Dr. Gohar's sister Katie, Baba would catch her out and say, Katie, wide up, don't nod. If you nod, immediately ticket for Bombay. And off you'll go. No, Baba, I like that. Baba didn't like someone who was among anyone seated before him to yawn. I'm so conscious of that even in private, today, I cannot yawn freely. I go and do all that. And Baba would catch someone yawning this, immediately that. This was yawn. The mouth going wide open, you see. Once more you yawn and you'll be thrown out of the room. So, depending on the gesture, what we were talking about now, as don't worry, everything will be all right. Everything is a zero. Only I'm the only one. Don't worry. And but he would say, what are you thinking about? That same sign, but there's a different gesture, different approach to the thing it would be. And he would say, if somebody had done something that angered him or displeased him, he'd say, you always make me angry. Now once more you make me angry, this time I forgive you. This was Baba's gesture of forgiveness. Forgive you. Next time, don't do it again. And it would be a serious matter, and we said, no, Baba. Of course, we were so happened that it would be done again. And of course, he would forgive again, But every time it would say, next time, I won't forgive. This time, I forgive. And after the forgiving would come, now forget about it. The thing was to be forgotten. This was to forget. And this was to remember. This was to forget. And then when Baba would praise someone, say, he loves me so much. This was love. And yet forgiveness, therefore forgiveness and love is so near to each other. Baba said, he loves me. But now, I forgive you. Forgiving was a giving like that, from the heart. And when Baba forgave, it really was a forgiving. It covered more than the shortcoming, because his giving is so big, it always covers more than what we are, or what we can hold, or what we have done, or what we desire. Always covers beyond it, always covers more than. Then as a gesture for children. So about you all who have not seen Baba, the young ones, meaning the ones who will not physically seen Baba, Baba said, you all will see. This was seeing. You all will see mine. And it was right from here to right to there, covering the whole world, as it were. And he would again say, each one was like this, good. And gem. This was Baba's gesture for a gem, because it is a stone on a ring, usually a precious stone on a ring that is worn by anyone. And Baba said, they're all my gems. Then, listen. Listen means obey. You have to obey all I say. Never let my word drop. That means what Baba says, you have to obey so spontaneously, so instantly, that the word, as it were, in Baba's case, unspoken word, but his wish, you should not let the word fall to the ground. Meaning, a word has no speed, or so much speed that there's no timing it. And yet, Baba asking for obedience was that kind of obedience that when the word left the lips, before it could touch, before it could fall, never let it fall, we have to catch it. Our obedience must be so instantaneous, so wholehearted, that you only have to know Baba's wish, and you have to hold the word, as Baba would say. And Baba said, sometime you must get Eruch to tell you the story of Ayaz, the supreme example of obedience to the Master. So, Ayaz is the name of the lover. This is a story like Layla and Majnu are the names where such love is personified. In the sense, obedience is always quoted, Baba would quote Ayaz, give the example of Ayaz. Now, Ayaz is the name of the lover in obedience. Piyaz means onion. An onion, when you cut an onion, it makes you cry. Tears come out from your eyes. So Baba would say, you all should be like ayahs and not like piyas. This is onion. You shouldn't be like piyas, you should be like ayahs. You shouldn't make me cry, but you should obey me so well as ayahs would do.
What is the sign for ayahs? Is there a sign for ayahs?
No, ayahs then, words like that, Baba would either make in letters or use the board when he was using the board. When he was not using the board, then it would be in name. And this was a scorpion. And talking of Laila Majnu, Baba would say that even the highest of human love, which was depicted by Laila and Majnu, the height of human love, so that it was closest to divine love, even Laila Majnu's love was like an ant. This was an ant bite compared to divine love, which is a scorpion bite. And I, who have been bitten by both scorpion and ant, I could well appreciate that simile. So that was scorpion and ant, and this was for the West. This is a hat. So hat, anybody, the Westerners would be that. So this was old. Now this was mother, old. And a woman is who wears bangles. So this is mother. So Norina was this, a Western woman. And this was old. Baba would make a face, very old would be like that. And this was a man, because that's a mustache. This is a woman. This is a man. This is Western. This would be Hindu, because of the string they wear across from shoulder to waist in the Hindu religions. This was Parsi, because of the kasti worn like this. And this was anybody wearing glasses. By then we had come to know that Nariman meant glasses, Chanji meant glasses, like Merji would mean this. And of course Baba loved giving nicknames, so Baba would make the gesture accordingly. For Kaka, it was like this, means hefty, plump. This was somebody thin. For Padri, it was like this, up and down, that length, all length, she's so tall and long. Kaka was like this. Eruch was like this, but like this, means young. This means young. The younger one who's hefty. Kaka was just the original hefty. Plump and fat. And Pendu, because of Meherabad, why was Pendu like that?
Because of his accident.
No. This is long ago. Because Meherabad sign Baba's sign for Meherabad was like this.
Because Pendu was the manager.
Manager. But why was the Meherabad?
Pendu had involved in an accident and
At that time?
Yes, at that time.
And this was a Tonga. So, and this was milk. Such simple, such, natural gestures. This was, of course, butter. This was butter. And this was telegram.
No,
I'm sorry. This was letters. You see, like you put a letter in a post box, but very naturally. Today, no letters? Telegrams? Okay. Oh, there are. Okay, let's see. Read. This was speak, utter, read. Reading because you're reading aloud. So this was like this. Ask. You have anything to ask? No? Still ask. Whatever you want, ask.
Are there any questions?
Yes. You have to ask something? You have to say something? Ask? No? I'm happy. Because there's nothing to ask. And sometimes Baba said, it's just happened. I've just remembered a funny story. Now you all listen. I'm going to tell you. This is just happens. I just happen to remember a funny story. Everybody listening? You don't nod. Keep your eyes open, open. If I see you nod, ticket that to Bombay. Things like that.
What does that sound, Mary?
Bombay, that's B for Bombay. That's Pune, P for Pune. T. And Baba said, what's the time? Tea. Everybody out. Tea. After tea, come back. But don't sit on my chest, you know. and then, but when he, huh?
What's the sign for money?
For me, well, you see, this was Mehera and Mani, both young, both had the same sign. And Baba would do my sister or little one. So then it would depend. If Mehera was not there, then my one would be Mehera. It depends who's in the room. If I was absent from the room and Baba asking for me, he would make the same sign. This is young, little. My sister or my Mehera, whichever it would turn out to be. In fact, Meheru tells me one day, Baba did this, and Meheru said, Mehera? And Baba said, no. And then just to cut the time short and make it very clear, Baba did this. So Meheru couldn't possibly imagine me being that small, so she said, no, it must be the dog. Mastan, Baba? No, no. So Baba came back in between.
What was his sign for bow?
Bhau? No, oh, Bhau was like this. You know, Bhau, as you know, especially at that time, he's the gentlest and most quiet person you can imagine. So it's Baba who pushed him, you know, more to be outwardly expressive, because he was very talented, as Baba would tell us. But because Bhau is sometimes, especially some say bow, and bow is the sound of a dog barking, bow, 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 wow. So this is the dog. So where's how? Bow, wow. So the lamb was, the sign for him was like this. Alaba, of course, was like this. That's Mohammedan. That's the face cap. Like this, you see. Where's that Alaba? Today he's going to get it. How many times I've told him, but he doesn't listen. Now, what was Baidul? Yeah, Baidul, marble, because this whole story of why he was called Baidul is from, because he used to write lines, verses, and he imagined them to be so brilliant, and Baba would, you know, encourage him and play along, so that Dr. Ghani at that time said, the name, he was just as good as Baidil, who was a great poet, whose songs and ghazals were sung before Baba. But he couldn't be, he was so original, Baidul was, that instead of being called Baidil, he was a marble, call him Baidul. And so Baba has called him Baidul. And this is how you play a marble. So Baidul was like that, you see. And that was Alaba, that was Pau, that was Eruch, Kaka, just plain like that, Pendu, Padri, Adi, Sarosh, same. But then it depended on, we knew what Baba was talking about, who he was talking about, according to the subject, the text, the context of the talk. Huh?
Francis?
Oh, Francis was like that too, when he was here. Huh? Francis. Because you see, in Meherazad, among the resident Mandali, Francis was the only one to whom this sign applied. So this always meant Francis, because he was one of the resident Mandali, you see. And this was outside, like that, would be Adi, who was in Ahmednagar, or Sarosh, who was in Nagar again.
Gustavji?
No, Gustaji, just like that. Just like that, the man.
He had a big mush.
He had a big mush. Oh, so this was Gustaji, yes. You all talk so much. I've got a headache. Sometimes I would say like that.
Sidhu's sign was this.
Sidhu was like this?
Because he was milking the buffaloes.
He was milking the buffaloes. That was Sidhu. And Muhammad? Oh, that. The masks and the mad. Or anybody of us who were, you're crazy, Babas. Absolutely crazy. This is like a crack in the head. There's a crack. crazy. Huh?
She's already done it.
Go ahead.
Oh, go her was like this. Amazingly, although hers should have been this as a doctor, because like Dr. Donkin and Dr. Nilu, hers was like this because the first time she came to Baba, she had a very sore throat, and it was a big thing. And so at that time, when Baba wanted to call Gaur, and we hadn't gotten used to her being there, Baba said, the one with the sore throat, you see? So she was always like this. Khorshid was the one, because she has rather bigger nose, was like that. And Baba used to teasingly call Mehera always like this, the crazy one. Naja was a frog, because Baba said she was always hopping along, that she didn't walk, she just hopped. And Marcy was a kangaroo, and Baba's sign for a kangaroo was, how it lopes.
And Rana?
Rano again was this. Now, especially in the latter years, when there was only Rano on this side and Francis on the other, it was simple to identify. We didn't need it because it all just naturally, in the conversation, you knew what it was. Or somebody with a beard was like this. Baba's gesture for a beard was so realistic, you know. You didn't feel it was a sign, it just spoke. And then the expressions that went with it. And sometimes when Baba had a twinkle in his eye, and you could feel he was looking around, sort of who to tease or what to spring, you know. And then, or sometimes, and then this gesture of, all right, let go. But this was finished. This is put a stop to it, was this. Stop it, you know. It's the end. But this was wiping out, finished. All right. All right, sort of, let's end it all. I mean, this matter is over, this. But also when people would be bowing down to Baba, like you see in that film, Darshan film that day, the one Behram had taken. And as each one would bow, Baba would, sometimes himself be doing this, and very often when somebody was bowing down, he was accepting it within him, like it's going into the ocean. It's a beautiful gesture. We've often watched Baba do that.
What was this one?
This was a baby, a child, a baby. The little ones were like that, but this was a baby. How many? 3, Baba. 3? Stop it. It's enough.
Anything pertaining to the new life in particular?
Huh?
Any gestures of Baba's that...
Well, I don't remember the speech, but as I say, some of the things that were said, if I have the text, we could do some of the things that were said
there.
there.
I can ask you some, because most of the lines were mine.
Yes.
One of them that's been in my mind is, I am always everywhere, I have to be, and I saw you.
I saw you. Like my nazar is on you. This is seeing, nazar. I, but always stood with the middle finger and gracefully like that. I. This is I. Baba's hands would never be like this. It's always I see you. I saw you. My nazar is on you. That's what it really means. I see you. I'm everywhere. Everywhere.
I have to be.
I have to be. No, that would be, I have to be. I don't know. That I have not heard Baba. But Baba often says that all this thing is nothing. Just a zero. I'm the only one. Think of me. Put a match to everything else. This was a match. This is, put a match.
Everything.
Huh?
Burn everything.
Burn everything else. Burn everything. What's illusion? Think of me. All this is nothing.
Anything else, Steve?
Now let's have a funny story. Cards. Stop all this. I've got a headache. And he would turn, he would change in an instant, in a moment, a mood from the profound to the light, from the serious to the amusing or funny, in an instant, which only Baba could do. I mean, any attempt of that on our part would be so clumsy. But Baba's would be just. And there we would, then the whole room full, as we are now, we would all just flow along with that mood. 1 second this, and he could conduct it that gracefully and that instantaneous. And we, you see, that is because when one and all are sensitive to Baba's pleasure, what he wants, what would please him. And you have to be sensitive. As somebody asked me, Baba said, be happy, don't worry. I said, but that doesn't mean keep grinning. If you realize that Baba was in a serious mood, or Baba was suffering, and if we, at the wrong moment, were just being happy, well, nothing could be worse than that. But to be sensitive to his pleasure, to his pain, to his wish, to his mood, to his moment, that... Tim, you want some more? This? No, this. I did this. Stop.
This must. It must.
Must.
do.
Did Baba use that gesture?
Stamp
Have
of
to.
authority.
Yes.
No,
Has-
not stamp of authority.
No.
It must happen.
Must. And must happen
The
quick.
inexorable law of the must.
This was slow.
MUST.
This was quick. And sometimes, at one time it did happen that before I knew it, Baba was having me to do the thing at the same time. Slowly, quick. He was sending a message to Eruch. He said, I was eating. This is eating. And Baba said, I looked up from my plate. He said, after you finish eating, go tell Eruch whatever the message was. I started getting up. No hurry, sit down. After eating, I said after eating. Okay, Baba. So I eat fast. Baba said, well, there's lots of time. Slowly, eat. So I start eating slowly. Not a few seconds go by, and Baba says, do you think you'll take a lot of time to finish? Well, no, Baba, I can go right now. No, sit down. You eat after you finish, but, soon after you finish, but eat slowly. And before I knew it, Baba was doing slowly, fast, with this one hand at the same time. I tell you, I didn't know what I was eating that day. I don't think I remember. Every day. This is a repetition, you see. Every day, or all the time. And this was, I think tomorrow was like this, and yesterday was like this. Yes. Tomorrow, you remind me, I have to cut my nails. Tomorrow. Because whenever Mehera would suggest, Baba would say, tomorrow, cut my nails. And we knew it meant another tomorrow. But yesterday, I remember, yesterday I told you to do so and so, and what happened? Baba say, where is Nariman? Where are they? Where is Francis? This is where, what, who, when. When are you going to write that letter? This is writing. Is that too straight for you? This is writing, when you write. And this was newspaper. This is newspaper. No, that's a book. No, newspaper was like this.
Newspaper like this.
This is newspaper. But this is a book. Yeah? Right? This is a telegram. This is a letter. And cards. This
Pack of
just
cards.
like
Pack
when
of
you do
cards.
this. And
What was this one? You did something like with your arms? What was that?
this would be a telephone or a gramophone, so that it was synonymous to music, a gramophone. So for radio too, Baba would do this, or telephone, like this round. And this, of course, was sitar. Baba loved sitar. And tabla. Tabla was this, which Baba played beautifully.
Film also.
Film was like that too.
Cinema.
Yeah. Today we have to see cinema. But don't tell anyone. Remember, don't tell anyone. But it,
Sign for kitty.
hmm?
Sign for kitty. Kitty, kitty.
It was the same thing. Oh yes, kitty, kitty. Okay. Tea for tea. Coffee was like that.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth
sign.
was like that.
Yeah.
You know, hefty, strong like that. Elizabeth.
I'm sorry.
And huh?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.